I roll over, closing my eyes as I attempt to fall asleep. This is the 10th time I've repeated this action. The excitement of my 8th birthday being tomorrow was surely overpowering the urge to sleep. I sat up and peered into the darkness of my room. Something didn't feel right tonight. I turned around and turned on my lamp, and light poured into my room. I swallowed, and my throat seemed as if it was going to crack at any moment. I walked downstairs to get some water, and on my way back upstairs, I heard my parents talking. This was strange, because it was 2:30 in the morning. I walked silently up to their door and pressed my ear ever so slightly against the wooden frame. After a few minutes, I realized that they were arguing. Their voices were quiet, making it only possible to make out a few words. I could hear my mother softly sobbing, and my father in a fit of whispering rage. "I have waited long enough for this, and I will not have it go to waste over some stupid woman," he hissed. I was taken aback. Throughout my entire life, I'd only heard my parents argue once, and it was a small disagreement over some grades I had made. But this was something big. My father was beginning to speak louder and louder, and it was only then that I realized that there was something off in his voice. It seemed much deeper than usual, and as I subconsciously searched for a face to match with this voice, I could only compare this voice to what I imagined a demon would have. This scared me, and I wanted nothing more than to go back upstairs, though I was frozen in place. "I want him! I want him! I want him! I want him!" my father repeated in a savage voice that seemed to rattle my brain. My mother whispered something that I couldn't make out, and when my father continued to repeat the phrase, she said it again, only louder this time. "John, he's your son!" My heart stopped as the blood in my veins ran ice cold. They were talking about me. What did he mean? I want him. I was now shaking, but still found my ear glued to the door. The voices returned to whispers, and I pushed my ear firmly on the door, attempting to hear what they were saying.
"I want him now!"
A thundering scream shattered the silence and shook my very soul. I dropped the water, spilling it on the carpet in the act of sprinting upstairs. I was up the stairs within seconds, and as I darted into my room, I slammed the door shut. I locked it behind me and leaped onto my bed, throwing the covers over my head as I lie in a fetal position. The last thing I remember hearing were my mother's blood-curdling screams from downstairs. I flew upright into my bed, drenched in sweat. It was a dream. I sat there for a few minutes, calming myself and thinking about the dream. After 5 minutes I was calm, and I headed downstairs to tell my parents about it. I was laughing at how silly of a dream it had been when my foot hit something cold and wet. I slowly looked down at my foot and saw the cup, empty, lying sideways on the carpet.